Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a major legal showdown that pits a legendary music icon against one of the world's biggest brands. We're talking about the estate of the one and only man in black, Johnny Cash, and they've just filed a lawsuit against Coca-Cola. This isn't just about a song, it's about a voice, a legacy, and the very essence of a star's identity. So here's the story. You might have seen Coca-Cola's recent college football ad, the one called "Fan Work is Thirsty Work." It's all about the passion and energy of game day, but it's the background music that has landed Coke in some seriously hot water. The estate of Johnny Cash claims that Coca-Cola hired a tribute singer and impersonator, whose voice is remarkably similar to Cash's iconic baritone. Now, if you've heard it, you know what they mean. The moment the music starts, you might instinctively think, wait, is that Johnny Cash? And according to the lawsuit, that's exactly the problem. The Cash estate argues that this wasn't an accident. They believe Coca-Cola intentionally used a soundalike to trick consumers into thinking Johnny Cash, or at least his estate, had endorsed their product. They saying Coke capitalized on the immense value and recognition of Cash's voice without ever asking for permission or paying for a license. The lawsuit even points to social media as evidence, citing comments from people online who immediately noticed the similarity. It's a classic case of what's known as right of publicity. This legal concept protects a person's name, image, and importantly in this case, their voice from being used for commercial purposes without their consent. Your unique characteristics, the things that make you, have commercial value, and you have the right to control how they're used. This isn't the first time we've seen a case like this. The Cash estate is actually referencing a famous lawsuit from back in 1988. The legendary singer, Bette Midler, sued Ford Motor Company for a very similar reason. Ford had asked her to sing in one of their commercials. She said no. So what did Ford do? They hired one of her former backup singers and instructed her to sound as much like Bette Midler as possible. Midler sued and won, setting a powerful precedent that a singer's voice is a distinct part of their identity and is protected by law. It seems the Johnny Cash estate is building their case on this very foundation. Their argument is clear. Coca-Cola wanted the Johnny Cash sound, the grit, the authenticity, but they allegedly tried to get it without going through the proper channels. The lawsuit states, despite capitalizing on the intrinsic value of Johnny Cash's legendary voice, Coca-Cola never even bothered to ask the trust for a license. That's a pretty strong statement. So what does the estate want? They're asking the court for two main things. First, an injunction that's a legal order to immediately stop Coca-Cola from running the ad. They want it pulled off the airwaves, period. Second, they're seeking monetary damages. The exact amount isn't specified, but you can bet it will be substantial, considering the global reach of a brand like Coca-Cola and the legendary status of Johnny Cash. As of now, Coca-Cola hasn't issued a public comment on the lawsuit, so we're still waiting to hear their side of the story. Will they argue it's just a similar style of music? Or will they try to settle this out of court? This case is a fascinating look at the intersection of advertising, celebrity legacy, and intellectual property law. It raises a huge question: where is the line between inspiration and imitation, especially when it comes to something as personal as a voice? We will be watching this case very closely as it develops in the Nashville federal court. What do you think? Did Coke cross a line? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this interesting, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into stories just like this one. We'll see you in the next video.